guys, welcome to the Something About Tuesdays podcast. I'm your host, Phebe Joi. Join me every other Tuesday for a lighthearted podcast to keep you company while you do your thing. Hey everybody, welcome back to Something About Tuesdays, episode 48. I'm your host, Phebe Joi, and hi, hey, and welcome, and Happy New Year! Now, I'm sure you've been hearing this for the last week since this does come out the Tuesday after New Year's, so the 7th, I believe. So we're like a week into the new year, but Happy New Year, just in case you didn't hear enough of it. It's 2025, woohoo! So I do have to say that I like odd numbers. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. Therefore, I am happy that it's 2025. Not just because I like odd numbers, even though that's got a little bit of something to do with it, but I'm happy that it's a new year. You know, with new year, you get fresh hope, you get, new thoughts and ideas and things. And so I would have to say that I'm happy that it's a new year, and I'm happy that it's 2025. So Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that your first week in your new year has gone really well. I would have to say that I think mine has gone pretty well so far. I am recording this actually on New Year's Day. So I can't say, I'm hoping that this next week goes well when this comes out, so we're all on the same page. But as of, day one of the new year, I think, hey, today went good. I am actually preparing, Hubs and I are about to go on a ski trip tomorrow. You're probably like, whoa, but we're going to someplace in West Virginia that I have never heard of. When you think ski trip, you think like Colorado, let's go to Aspen, let's go to Snowmass. We've been there before, but hey, West Virginia, maybe there's something there. There are mountains over there. So I suppose then that'll have to be good enough. But I'm sure it'll be fun. Actually, Hubs showed me the resort, but we're going to talk more about skiing in a minute because we got to talk about skiing. But I didn't want to jump right into that before going into just talking about the new year, of course. And one of the things that I like seeing in this new year and being, I'm on social media. I took a break for a little while. I am back on Facebook, but I still don't get on as often as I did, which is kind of nice. It's like I get on, I share my posts, and then I disappear, I was like, let me get on, let people know I'm still here. But I still don't want to, go all in on it. And yeah, so I am on it. But one of the things that I do like to do is seeing everybody's kind of reflection of their year or their recap. I like their recap. When I think of reflection, I think about like the deep things, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that. And then sometimes I'm like, just give me a recap. Just, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's just see it real quick. We don't have to go deep. Let's just see the recap. And I feel like I've seen a lot of recaps, like a lot of people who have shared either thoughts or pictures or just quick moments of the year. And so I was like, I want to do a recap. And I saw, so one of the podcasts that I listened to, he did a recap of the year by choosing a picture to represent each month. He said, okay, so this month this happened, and here's a picture to represent that. And this month this happened, and there's a picture to represent that. And so I've seen pictures and things, but in my brain, I really liked the month by month kind of thing. And so I'm going to give you guys a brief recap of my 2024. Now, you may not be able to, it'll be quick, you guys. It is a recap. It won't be a huge thing, but I'm going to try my best to, I'm going to do a quick recap and then tell you what picture would look like. And I'm thinking about creating a Canva kind of video. I've made one before. I did one for when I talked about the Apostolic Voice competition, and I also did one for my mother's retirement. So I might do one and maybe post it on Instagram under the Something About Tuesdays page. So I might do that. I might do that while I'm traveling tomorrow. So, get all that stuff together. But it was kind of good to go back and look at my pictures. If you're anything like me, you're the type of person who or you may know someone. If this isn't you, you know someone who takes a ton of pictures. I've got so many. I should do that too on my trip, go through them and delete some. But I've taken lots. I take lots and lots of pictures. And one of the things that I kind of liked and appreciated about that is when I went back to look, okay, what was going on that month or whatever, I had quite a few pictures to choose from. Now, there were a couple months that were a little slim, and then there were a couple months I'm like, why did I even take that pic? What is that a picture of? I screenshotted a lot of things, apparently. But it was kind of cool to go back and look at pictures that you don't really look at. Because I think, I always take pictures for that one time where I want to reference or tell somebody about something. And I'm like, wait, I've got this picture. And you got to scroll back forever and you sit there and you wait. My dad is notorious for that. But so I was like, okay, let me go back and see what pictures I took. And so I did. And so, like I said, I'm going to try to create a Canva video and put it on my Instagram. And if I do that, feel free to make one of your own and share it on there. You may think nobody else cares. I care. I really do. I like seeing what people have done. I like seeing the reflections or the recaps or the highlights, I guess, of people's lives. And I think it's a good thing. I enjoy seeing it. So, anywho, so let's go into Phoebe's 2024 recap. Starting with January. So last January, apparently, there's only two things that stood out. Was I had pictures where there was snow. It must have snowed enough to cover the ground. I'm not sure if I had a snow day. I cannot remember. But I had pictures of the snow and pictures of the road and driving through that snow with my husband and just seeing how pretty the road was. And I think that's going to be that's the picture I would choose for January, was that pretty snow picture. But another thing that I had that I thought was hilarious was I had a sample video podcast. Apparently, I tried my hand at doing a video podcast for something about Tuesdays. And I do remember last year kind of being like, I might get into the video realm. So I had a video podcast. It was about 20 minutes long, so it wasn't a full length one, where I had practiced. And apparently I had set up my room and was sitting in my chair and had the microphone and had recorded. And apparently that's about as far as it went. Last year I said I might explore that. Y'all, it's 2025, maybe. Y'all, it's not that I wouldn't want to do a video podcast. It's just, I think I explained it before. When I record these, right now, it's 7:40 p.m. My hair, I've already taken it down. It's out. It's just in a big fro right now. I'm in some loungewear, modest, but still loungy. I don't look, my room is not, for being January 1, you know how you want to start fresh and clean. My room, my personal little office room, is a mess. I still have wrapping paper from Christmas out from when I wrapped in here, wrapped the presents. So I still have wrapping paper out. I still have boxes from gifts that I got for Christmas that are literally just sitting on my desk, just boxes. And I like the wrapping because I took the things out of them. And I still have, you guys. So I washed my hair maybe a week and a half ago, something like that. And I still have my special little drying my hair cloth thing. It's like a towel, but not really, still on my chair. That's where I am. This being open and honest, that's what my room looks like right now. It's a mess. But I do plan to clean it. In fact, I do plan to clean it tonight, because one of the things that I do before I travel is clean. And my hubs is like, I love that. He's like, we need to travel more. I'm like, yes. If all I have to do is clean and you travel, then yes. But anyway, so I will be cleaning that tonight. That is on my list of things to do. But I was like, let me go ahead and record before I get into that, because we're going to be gone through Sunday. And then I'll probably try to edit the podcast Sunday or Monday to have it ready for you guys on Tuesday. So anyway, video podcasting, wow, it was something I think I would love to do. I'm not there yet. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll get one out there this year. Maybe that can be my goal, is to maybe do special ones. So maybe not all the time, but do a couple. I don't know. It's why do one? If you're going to do one, do them all. I don't know. Anywho, so apparently I tried that last January. So while that's not my recap picture that I would choose, it is something that was in January. So moving on to February. February. February is one of those names, words that's library. I say February. I don't say February. If you, like the R, the brr, I don't say that. February. I say February. And I think most people do. Kind of like your library. I do say the bruh and brary. But anywho, so sorry, getting off on a tangent. So February, I had explored, I think, the new coffee shop. At least I had taken pictures of the one that I went to. I think that was when I first went to it. I'd have to go back and see exactly. But I had taken a picture of the one coffee shop that was kind of, was that the first time I went? I don't know. Well, regardless whether it was my first time or not, I did take pictures of the one coffee shop, the kind of new agey one. So that was one. I had a picture of my car window, the back car, the rear view. Is it the rear view window? The rear window had broken. I had backed into my garage door. So my garage door was lifting, and I think it started lowering when I was backing in. I don't know how I didn't see it, and it crashed into my back window and completely shattered it. So I took a picture of that and my sad face of driving that. And then, of course, in February, the cruise. Yeah. So the cruise happened in February along with the Apostolic Voice competition. I would have to choose, of course, any one of the cruise pictures as my February picture. I think I would choose the picture that had my new friend in it, Alondra, because she was just the highlight. I mean, the voice competition was a highlight, for what it was, but the true highlight was, meeting friends, meeting new people, and being able to explore and to do the cruise with her and with other new friends. And so I would say a picture with Alondra would be my picture for February. Like I said, though, the Apostolic Voice competition was pretty awesome, very nerve-wracking. I still haven't forgotten how nervous I was. I still look back and like, how in the world? I don't know how I won that, but amen, hallelujah. So February would be that one. March, moving into March. So I took a picture of, apparently I liked my hairstyle at that time. And my note for March, that picture says cute hair. Okay. Apparently I had taken a picture with a former student of mine. I might have mentioned on the podcast, but it was a student that I had my first year of teaching, and he is now in high school. And that just blew my mind. And then I had won a musical award at church, so I took a picture of that. And then my yellow chair, I had ordered my yellow chair. Y'all might remember I had ordered my yellow swivel chair, I believe from Wayfair, and it went great with everything. So I was super excited about that. So I took a picture of that. And then, of course, there was Easter, which I was feeling yellow. So I think I had my yellow jacket and my blue outfit with my husband matching. Wonderful. I'm not sure which picture I would pick. It would either be, this is so funny, the Easter picture with my husband or the yellow chair. Like you would think between the two, which was more important. Definitely my husband, but that yellow chair, it's so cute. So one of the two, I don't know which one I'll pick yet. I guess you'll have to find out once I post that on the Instagram. But yeah, so that was March. My yellow color, yellow vibes would be my recap for March. Then there was April. I had pictures from Ladies Conference, and I had a chance to sing, not just sing, but also sing a solo. Not every year do I get a chance to do a solo, but this year I did, and that went well. Nervous as always. I always get nervous when I sing, but it went over well, I would say, for the most part. And I had taken a picture of the solar eclipse and my disappointment with where I was. We were at 98%, and I thought that would really do something, and it didn't. I mean, it got a little dark, but not like pitch black. And y'all, they're like the next one somewhere anywhere near us is like 40 years from now, 20 years from now. And I'm like, man, I might have missed it. I may not get another chance of that, and I just gonna have to let that go. It's fine. But I wish I could have. That would have been cool. I also missed you guys remember, I think I talked about this, the Northern Lights, apparently, like back in August or something, we could see those. Missed those too. Yeah, so anywho, I had taken pictures of the slightly darker than usual sky for that. I had taken pictures and videos of my mom, who was on the news. She was on the news to share a program that she had done, a mentorship program that she was part of, and she was able to talk and share her experience from there. And she did awesome. So her voice was so calm. Y'all know it's been a while since I had mom on here, but her voice was just so calm and peaceful. And I told her, I was like, everybody, they did great. They did fine, but you were warm and welcoming. And so I have pictures of that. And then I had pictures of when we went on the railroad excursion, that like bicycle on a railroad thing. Well, not bicycle, but like you're pedaling. So I took pictures of that. But I think if I had to choose my picture of April, because April is also my mom's birthday month, I would choose the picture of my mom on the news when she was behind the podium, just looking professional and wonderful and warm and welcoming. So that would be my April pick. And then moving into May. So in May, I went to my cousin's graduation, and my mom had her retirement. We did her retirement party where I showed the retirement video that I created for her. I at least finished the schooling part of my ESL program. And Mom, Beth, and I went to Myrtle Beach. It had been a while since we had been taking a girls' trip to Myrtle Beach, so I have pictures from that. And with choosing a picture to represent, I think, the month of May, I would have to either choose my mom's retirement, because that's such a big, y'all, that's a big thing. It's not my life, but it's my mom's life, and it's such a big part of it. And I know I picked her for April, a picture of her, but I think I might have to pick a picture of her for May as well, just because it's such a big thing. And I did create a video that maybe I'll do like a picture of the video that I created for my mom or something like that. But that was the month of May, which was great. So y'all, we're almost halfway through the year. I'm kind of liking this recap thing. Anywho, June, y'all. June, I only have one thing to recap for the month of June. I don't know why, but I put new mattress. So I don't know if my picture for June would be just a picture of a mattress. I guess. But honestly, with how much that thing cost, I would have to say, I think the mattress should get its own picture. Because, it was great. We got the mattress and the bed frame thing, and it was the moving up and down one, Tempur-Pedic, got the split king. Y'all know, it does deserve its own picture. It does deserve its own month. So we did get a new mattress set in June, and that's my recap for June. So in July, of course, was our anniversary, and we didn't go on a trip this time around. Normally we try to, but we were anticipating other things. And so for our anniversary, we just went to get some Thai food, and I have pictures of that. But that month, I also had the chance to see my comedian and my podcaster. So I got to see Trey Kennedy and Jake Triplett, who's my podcaster. Well, they're both are. I listen to both their podcasts live. And then I got to take a picture with my podcaster, with Jake. And that was so cool. And I still, like, when I look back at that picture, I was like, oh, like, that's so cool to, like, meet someone who's a celebrity. And then also that's when my mom, sister, and I went to the Ark. And I was very tired that trip. And I do think, looking back now, that probably had to do because I was in early pregnancy at that point. If y'all remember, I talked about that. I was like, it was so much walking. There might have been other reasons as to why I was fatigued and therefore was like, it's too crowded and hot and I'm walking too much. So anywho, I would have to say that my highlight picture for the month of July would be my pic with Trey, I didn't take a picture with Trey, but with Jake Triplett, my podcaster, because that was just so cool. And it's funny, if I share the picture with you guys, if that's the one that there's one picture, I only took two, but there's one where you can see, I was so nervous talking to him because I'm like, oh, he's like a celebrity. And so in the picture, I was like, I have this great smile, but if you see my hand, it's on my purse. It's like clutching my purse. You can see the nerves in that little fist. So anywho, that's July. That was just great. And then August, once again, feeling good in August, I went to the Brandon Lake concert with one of my besties, Emmers, and that was a great concert. I went to the State Fair, and which was good as always. I mean, the State Fair, I think I did a whole episode on that before last year, but that was, it was fine as always. And then Hubs and I, we took a cabin trip at the very end of August into September. It was that Labor Day weekend, and enjoyed that trip. And so I think the picture I would choose, that's tough. I think I would, do I pick a Brandon Lake picture or do I choose our cabbage? I think I'll choose Brandon Lake. You're like, well, what? I do think I'll choose the Brandon Lake picture because it does have the picture with one of my besties and just going out with her and spending time with her and her kiddos and doing something that I normally don't do. Then there's September. And September, I've got my this is going to be a tough one too. So many good things happened in September. So my family and we went to Huber's, and this was the time where we took pictures to kind of announce that I was going to be having a baby. I was in September 15 weeks, and so I was showing, and I told the family I was deciding like this is when I'm going to post it on Facebook. It was my husband and our birthdays, and so I have pictures from a Huber's trip with the family and with the whole like we're gonna have a baby pictures is what we did there. That month, I also did the gender reveal with my family. That came about a week or so later. And I did that with my family and close friends. And for the gender reveal, I'm pretty sure I already explained that, but I did like an escape room type thing that they had to work through to get to the end, which was a video that would show what she was. And she was a girl. And then at the very end of the month was my husband's promotion. He got promoted to be a major of our police department here, and that was great. That day, the day of the promotion, I had just had an appointment with my lady doc, and got to hear baby girl's heartbeat again, get everything checked out, make sure everything was okay, and at that time it was, and so it was very exciting, it was thrilling, and so we got to, and then immediately after that, got to go to the promotion. And so I think September is so hard to choose one picture because we've got the baby reveal pictures. We have the gender reveal pictures. We've got husband's promotion pictures. And I think if I had to pick a picture for September, I would choose the picture that I took for my husband's promotion. And the reason I would choose that is because the whole family was there. It was my mom, my dad, my sister. It was Sydney, my daughter, my stepdaughter, and her now husband. And it was Hayden. And it was, my husband, myself, and our baby girl. So I have a picture with all of us, which is just meaningful, and it was the last picture with all of us, before things changed. And so that would be my September picture. It would be hard to pick, but that would definitely be the one. So then we have October, and the recap of October, I have two major things. One, my experience in the hospital. I was in the hospital for, I think, a total of 6, maybe 7 days. And so I'm not sure which, I actually probably, I would not pick any of my hospital pictures, but just because of how sad it was. But at the same time, if I did have to pick a picture, from my hospital pic, and it would be the picture that I took of my daughter. That's one that but I wouldn't pick that for my recap picture because I don't want to share that with everybody. And so while that would kind of be the picture I would choose for October, that wouldn't be the one that I would choose publicly for October. So the one I would choose would be when Hubs and I took our trip to Franklin. So I think about 2 weeks after I gave birth to her October 6th. That a couple weeks after that, we went to Franklin, and just to kind of, get away, recoup, breathe, decompress, all the things, right? And we had a good time in Franklin, and it was so good. It was good to go back to work and life as norm and then take a break again. I was like, okay, let me get my feet wet and then jump right back out of the water, get a breather, and then I can go back in. And so that's what Franklin was. It was that kind of like, I got my feet back, got my feet wet again, getting back into work and everything. Felt a little overwhelming, so that was my break back out before I got to go back in. So Franklin was great. I would definitely choose the picture of my husband and I in Franklin. I don't know which one yet, so we'll see which one actually I'll end up choosing. And then there was November. And in November, two things I wrote down. And one was the dinner mystery dinner thing, the detective mystery dinner thing, because that was fun. And that was another much needed thing that a friend provided for me. And then our ladies get together. I had a ladies get together my pastor's wife had at her house, part of a small group, and pictures from there were just nice. And seeing her house inspired me to want to decorate my house. So anyway, if I had to pick my picture though for the month of November, would be my dinner picture with my sister, my mom, and my dear friend who took me to that. And considering I won, y'all remember that? I did win that. Woohoo! So yeah, then there's December, and y'all, we're getting through it. Thank you for hanging tight with me with explaining my recap. And like I said, please share yours. I would love to see them. But so December, I had just a few things, and that is my Sydney got married to my precious son-in-law. And so I got a couple pictures of that are sweet. And then our dinner that we went to celebrate. And also then I have, of course, Christmas pictures. And you guys, I wrote down, so these are my notes. There's a word here and I have no idea. I'm like, what? I'm trying to read this. And I'm like, what did I say? What did I take a picture of? Okay, this is what the writing looks like. It looks like I wrote a CRUM. Crumb. But that triggers nothing for me. I don't know what that would be. I don't know what crumb would stand for. So there was Christmas. Like I have Christmas pictures, but I'm like, what in the world does the crumb stand for? So let me go back and let me see if I can like look and see what pictures I have. You guys, I'm looking back and there is nothing. I'm looking through the pictures and there's nothing. I don't know what crumb stood for. CRUM, unless somehow I wasn't writing. I didn't write that. Oh, okay. I went back far enough. It's not crumb. It's crown. CROWN. I don't know why or how. I don't know. Y'all, my writing is terrible sometimes. Yes, I started to get my crown on my tooth. And y'all, I still stand here right now. I'm still upset, y'all, because my tooth has been bothering me. And you know how they said, if it's bothering you, you just need to get a root canal. And I think I told y'all last time, I think them dentists are playing games with me because I do go back to get my permanent crown on. But that side of my mouth has still been kind of bothering me and very sensitive. And I'm like, I did not just pay over $500 with insurance and everything to just not have the problem fixed, anywho, but that's neither here nor there. So that definitely wouldn't be my picture for December, but I do think my picture for December would be my husband, myself, my daughter, and my new son-in-law. That would be my December picture. So that is my 2024 recap. And like I said, it was good to go back and look at the pictures. It's so very easy to kind of get stuck in what the last few weeks or months of the year are and kind of like base your year off of that. And for me, of course, that was filled with a lot of kind of sadness, but reflecting on the entire year and even the months where there was a ton of sadness, there are still good things within that. And so 2024, a lot of people are like, bye, I'm ready for the new year. I'm definitely like, bye. don't get me wrong. I'm like, yes, 2024, please leave. Thank you. You did your job. You did good, but I'm ready for 2025. So, 2024 it'll be one of those bittersweet years. Like, y'all know that's my word. Like, I just don't know how else to describe it. So many wonderful things happened. I got to go on the cruise. I got to win that voice competition. You guys, that still blows my mind. I know y'all are probably tired of hearing it, but that was that's just a big life experience for me. So that was huge. And then giving birth to my first child was huge. And losing my child was huge. And just all the things, like 2024 is just one of the mirrors. So anywho, so definitely like recap your life if you can, and feel free to, like I said, go on Instagram, share it, find me, share it, send me a text, send me a message, send me a DM, send me something, because I would love to see it. And if you're like, Phoebe, I already put it on Facebook, I already put it on Instagram, I will go look for it. But yeah, so that is my 2024 recap. Looking into 2025, I feel like I should have, you all know, I have a love-hate relationship with resolutions. I've done my quarterly resolutions, where you give yourself something for three months, and then 3 months you go back, revisit, and see what you need to change. I'm still all about that. I think, but y'all, this is kind of funny. Right now I only have two things, two types of, I guess, resolutions that are they're very like broad, and I will narrow them down. That's my brain. It will narrow it down. But, for what it is, y'all, when y'all hear one of them, you're like, yeah. The other one, you're like, really? So I'll start with the good one. So my first kind of, my deeper resolution is that I plan to be more intentional. And I know that's so like, that's everybody, right? Everybody's goal is to be intentional. Like that's the whole purpose. That's why we're creating resolutions, is we're trying to be more intentional about da 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 da. But that, how people have a word. I don't think that's my word. That's not my main word, but that's going to be a side word that at least is going to be in my head for this first few months. I don't know if it'll last all year. Again, 12 months is a very long time. For me to say something now, day one, and to say, yeah, the rest of the year, I can't say that. But for at least these initial few months, or at least this first month, hopefully this first few months, I want to be intentional about the time that I'm given and what I fill it with. And this came from, you guys know, my pastor's wife mentioned this at our kind of ladies' dinner. And I mentioned this at the beginning of December, I believe, about being intentional thing about, with your walk with God. And that, I resonated with that. But that's kind of like, for me, it was kind of like a given. Like, yeah, we should do that. Like, definitely, I'm there. But it wasn't until I recently listened to a podcast episode that was suggested to me, and I will definitely suggest it to you. It is called The Theology of Suffering, and it's from the Kingdom Speak podcast. And it sounds heavy because it has the word theology in it, right? Theology of suffering. Like, who wants to hear? But y'all, when I say that was a good episode, and that was suggested to me. Thank you, Brian and Katie, to listen to. And it has, how like, and how like you go through stuff and kind of like, okay, look, I'm gonna relate this to this cut I have on my finger. Well, on my Christmas tree today, I believe, which we're gonna talk about that, I was moving way too fast, and it was either that or on Christmas Day, I did something to my finger and just ripped off like where my nail is, like just a big old chunk of my cuticle. Yeah, and it sounds as terrible as it is. I mean, when I say that thing bled for bled for a long time, like bled through a couple of Band-Aids, like not to be gross, sorry. But like that, it still hurts, y'all. And so it's been bleeding a lot. And so putting some Neosporin on it has helped. And it just kind of helps soothe the ache. The ache still comes back and it still hurts, but that Neosporin helps soothe the ache. That is what that episode was for me, right? My emotional pain isn't as raw as it was, in October when everything was just happening, but it still aches here and there, right? It's not all the time. It's not continuous, but it definitely comes and lets me know that there's still a wound. And sometimes you don't know, like you just don't know that you need something to soothe that wound until it dies. And that's what that episode did for me. It just put a very helpful and necessary soothing just ointment over the wound, over my emotional wound and pain that I, have experienced. And so for anyone who has ever suffered, or if you, know someone who has ever suffered or been through anything, whether you're going through it now, like now or later or whenever, or just if you have in the past, or, you're like, my life is great, but there's still this one area that I just don't understand. That episode was just so good. And even if not, I mean, it's one of those, how I say, take what you need, leave what you don't, or take something from somebody else. This or take it and save it. This is one that even if you're not there, take it and save it. Put it in your notes, put it somewhere for whenever that time comes where you might need just a little ointment to soothe over some hurt. That's the one, okay? But anyway, it was so good, and the guy who talked on it is Brother Tom Trimble, and he was speaking because he had been through pain. He had lost his mother and he lost his son, and he spoke so just raw and real, but anointed, like he's a spiritual man. He loves God. He loves you. He's a pastor, and so I don't, y'all, I can't do it justice. Go listen to it. It's so good. It'll soothe your soul. And that's what it did for me. But in that, he mentioned that his son, who had passed away, he had been diagnosed with cancer at a young age. His, I think, son passed away at 35. He had been diagnosed, I think, at maybe 29 or something like that, if I listened correctly. But don't quote me on it. But he said that in that time between when he was diagnosed and when he passed, his son lived with so much intention that he made sure that he filled that time with, because he had 3 children, that he filled that time with family vacations and spending time with his family and producing music and songs because that's what he loved. So he filled that time with things, knowing that he didn't know how much time he had, but he filled it with the good things, right? And he had said a statement like that time is a gift. And so for me, I was like, man, I want to do that. There are, like, in this kind of waiting season, it's like, I'm waiting. I'm just past. I feel like time's wasting. Time's getting past me. I've mentioned before, I feel like I'm falling behind. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 35 and I still don't have the family, all these things. But I was like, you know what? But this time that I have right now is a gift. This time that I have in this moment in this season is a gift. And so I want to be intentional about what I feel it with. And so anyway, so that's in my head. So that is my, the good goal of 2025. Along with letting go of some things. Now that's a tag on to the intentional. That's not my second goal of 2025. That's just a tag on to being intentional. I'm going to intentionally let go of some things and cling to others, right? So that's that. So my not as deep, but to me, just a thing I want to do this year. You're like, what? A thing I want to do this year is I want to smell good. And literally, I want to smell good. I want to smell good. That's literally what I am. So I want to carry perfume in my purse because I feel like for me, I always spray perfume and I never, 5 minutes in and you can't tell. And I don't know if it's just because I feel like I don't get cheap stuff. I feel like I get decent stuff. I'll go to your department stores and get stuff from there. Other than spending hundreds of dollars, I will spend over $100 for some perfumes, and I feel like that's good. So it should stay on me, but I feel like it doesn't. So anyway, so my goal is to carry perfume in my purse and to spray it with me before I go anywhere. Now I have perfumes, and you're like, Phoebe, no, but hear me out. What I'll end up doing is I will talk myself out of spraying my perfume. I always have perfume with me, but I'm just going to the store. I don't need to smell good. That's what I do. I'm just running in to get some food. I don't have to smell good. I'm heading to work, but I'm just going to be around kids. I don't got to smell good. It's fine. I want to be someone who just smells good all the time. Legit. I am always who am I going to be around? It don't matter. No, it's fine. It's no big deal. But I want to be someone who smells good. So my goal is to spray myself with perfume more often, and maybe even spend more than $100, more than $200. Ooh. Saying that out loud is a little rough, on some perfume. And I just want to smell good. I want when I walk past people to be like, oh, she smells nice. I think my husband would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. But that is a goal of mine. It's so weird. I just want to smell good this year. I want to be I'm not going to give myself an excuse to not smell good. I just want to smell good. Like, why not? Now, if you have any tips and tricks for how to keep a scent on you to last longer, how to keep yourself from going nose blind, because I think because like 5 minutes into wearing a scent, I feel like I can't smell it anymore. And really, more than I want other people smelling me, I want to smell me. Like, I put that scent on me because I think it smells good. But like 10 minutes later, I can't even smell it on myself when I want to. Like, I want to smell that warm, whatever scent I have, like on me all the time because it gives me cozy feelings, right? So anyway, if you have any tips and tricks for things like that, and if you have suggestions for like really good scents that that smell good, holler. I like the smell of rose, but soft rose. I like soft scents. I do think that's my problem, is I really like those subtle ones. So I think they just don't, I guess, project as far or last as long. I don't know. But anywho, so I do want to smell good. That is one of my 2025 resolutions, is to smell good. I think this could be one I could do all year. I don't know. But at least the first few months, I'm going to try. I have this scent that I like. It's called Bare Rose, I think. And it's, to me, it's such a soft, pretty, beautiful smell. I've been spraying it all over the place. I don't think anybody can tell. I've gotten a couple compliments like, "Oh, you smell good," but it's like literally after I just sprayed before walking in. So anyway, so yeah, so if you're someone who runs into me and you do smell me and I smell good, let me know. Be like, "Hey, I actually smell you. It smells good." And don't tell me if I smell bad. Tell me if I smell good. So I actually smell you today. Whatever you have on, I still smell you. How long ago did you spray it? This gives us a test of how long it lasts. Help me figure this out. So yeah, anyway, so that's my goal for 2025, is to smell good and to be intentional. And I do plan to come up with like another focus or word or thing that I want to do for the year, but that's all I've got so far, just on day one of 2025. And then I do have to explain, I'm almost, look, I've spent all this time talking about 2025 and some of 2024, and I know Christmas has passed. Christmas has been a couple weeks ago now, but I have to tell y'all about my Christmas treats day, and then a quick plug in for a Christmas game. So my Christmas treats day, because the last episode, I was about to do my Christmas treats day where I was telling you guys and I was going to let y'all know how it went. You guys, I did it. I actually did it. I didn't make literally everything, but I made a lot. I made, I made the no-bake cookies, the chocolate no-bake cookies. I made homemade peanut butter cookies, which I don't even really like peanut butter cookies, but they were really good. I made store-bought sugar cookies. Well, like the cookie dough, and then you got to put it in there. So I did make those. I made Oreo balls. I made the salted caramel toffee cracker saltine caramel thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it was really good. I did my Muddy Buddy mix with my M&Ms, which I bought that. I just mixed the thing together. Let's see, what other treat did I do? And I made a Reese's cookie dough dip. That was really good. It's been a while since I made that. And then, let me see, was that it? I think, off the top of my head, I think that was it as far as my Christmas treat. So that was 7 things. And then I also did my Christmas charcuterie board. I think I'd mentioned that. I made it. Oh, no. I also forgot I made the spinach tree thing. I did. I'll have to put a picture on there. So I made the spinach tree thing, and it actually turned out really well and tasted pretty good. And it really was not very hard to make it all. So while I don't know when else you would need a spinach Christmas tree, but maybe other shapes you could do, like a spinach something or other. But I did make that, and that turned out pretty well, and it was very good. Oh, I made the Velveeta cheese Italian sausage dip and charred it and burned it, and it was not good. So that one did not work out. But I did make it. It just didn't work out well. And then, like I said, on Christmas Day, I did the Christmas charcuterie board. I had it ready by breakfast, so that way we could nibble on like the fruit and the cheeses and stuff while I was making breakfast, which with my sister's help, which really my sister did it, made the caramelized French toast, which is what I was hoping to do, and was able to nibble on the charcuterie board throughout the day. And yeah, so that was my goal. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did. And Hubs and I, we did. On my list also was to see Christmas lights, so we did go see Christmas lights. I think Christmas Eve. I think we went out when we went to go get pizza. This was the same day as the Christmas treats day, so maybe it was 2 days before. So Christmas, Adam. Adam came before Eve. Yeah. So when we went to go get the pizza, because pizza goes great with sweets, that's when we went to look at the Christmas lights in a nearby neighborhood. And it was like, there were a couple of them that were really good. There was a couple of them we were like, oh, okay, all right. But that was fun. And yes, I was able to do it. My notes from Christmas Treats Day that I wrote down is I don't like the sound of parchment paper, like the sound where you have to like tear it. Like I just, like thinking about it now, I'm like, ugh, like the sound of parchment paper, just the scraping. It's like nails on chalkboard. Do not like it. Another thing that happened was I spilled, so cocoa powder, I made it for, I think I used it for the no-bake cookies. And I spilled it, of course, not on the floor. That would be too easy. Not on the counter. That would be too easy. No, I spilled it in my open utensil drawer. So that lovely chocolate powder just got all over my utensil drawer, and which is like, how am I going to get this out of this? And so I had to take all the utensils out, clean out all, you know how sometimes like your utensils are just kind of thrown in there. I had to take it all out, clean it out, clean the drawer, clean out the little divider. Oh my goodness. I was like, why? So that happened. So be careful with the powder. Be careful with powder and powdered sugar, because I got that everywhere. Those things just fly. They just fly. They just get everywhere. I am a messy cook. I did try to clean up as I went, so I was very proud of that. But as far as like the food and stuff, yeah, it was everywhere, but especially that cocoa. And the only other two notes I have is that while that was fun doing that Christmas treats, standing for a while was like, like I didn't, because I was in there for a couple hours just making all the different things and making the things that didn't require baking versus making the things that do. And I was just standing and I was just like, my goodness, like I'm tired of standing and cooking. So shout out to those people who kind of do that every year. Like that's not fun. It's not as like the standing part is not as fun, and you do get tired. But it was all very yummy. Like I said, other than the Velveeta cheese dip, it all was very yummy. And of course, I had to write this down. I did have a tummy ache the next day. Probably because I've been working on not eating a lot of sweets the last 2-3 months. And so when I had Christmas Treats Day, all that went out the window and I ate more than I needed to. And like the next day I was like, ooh, my tummy's a little queasy. Like, I don't know if I should have did all that, but it was totally worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Maybe next year. We'll see. Oh, or later this year. But anyway, so Christmas Treats Day went really well. And the only other thing I wanted to throw out there when it comes to Christmas was that, so every Christmas we like to play a new game. I like to get a game, I request one. My parents will usually buy it, and then we'll play it that Christmas. And this year I picked the game Wavelength. And I don't know if you've played it, or if you've even heard of it, because I hadn't until one of my podcasters mentioned it. But I had, it's a game where you have to, it's a thinking game, which I like those. But you have teams, and when it's your team's turn, one person has to think about it like a scale of this or that, this versus that. We'll say hot versus cold, right? And then you are either on the very hot side, on the very cold side, somewhere in between, more hot, more cold, depending on the board. And so just in the most basic way, depending on the board. So let's say I was the person you were trying to guess, and I will say like the board said I should be leaning more towards hot. Like if you think about hot on one end of the spectrum and cold on the other end, go to the middle and then go a little more towards hot, right? So the board would say that's what you need to come up with, and you want your team to come up with that. So I would probably say something like, I would say a bowl of soup. Okay. So then if you were on my team, you wouldn't say that you wouldn't say it was cold, hopefully not. You'd probably say in the middle, okay, lukewarm. And then you'd be like, well, but she didn't say lukewarm soup. So hopefully you would lean more towards the hot. But I didn't say scalding soup. So maybe, you would know not to go all the way too hot. So maybe you'd be somewhere in that kind of like more hot than cold, towards the middle, but more towards hot, if that makes sense. So anyway, you're probably like, what? But really though, it was a fun game. We played that we played it with some friends on Christmas Day. Mom had people over. She had some friends from church over, and we were able to play that, and that was pretty fun. And then we played it again the Sunday after Christmas with just the fam, and it was fun. And and it's funny to see how like some people are on the same wavelength, and then some people opposites. Like that's not what I would have said. That's not what I would have thought. But it was a pretty fun one. So if you and your family are looking for a new game to play, if you guys have game nights or anything like that, I suggest Wavelength. I think that would be a good one. I think last year I had the goal of us doing a game night at least once a month, and I don't think I kept up with that. I would like to get back into that. Maybe try that again. But yeah, so that's a game that I would suggest, just to say that it was pretty fun. And then the last thing that I want to share is going on the ski trip. So like I said, the reason I'm recording this almost a week before it comes out, usually I record like the Saturday before it comes out, but it's the Wednesday. It's January 1st, the new year. And that's because husband and I are going on, like I said, a ski trip. We're going to somewhere in West Virginia, some ski resort out there, and which for it to be fun. Now, I say we're going on a ski trip. You know what? I should say we're going on a winter trip because I do not plan to ski. My husband wants to ski. He's looking forward to it, and he knows that I do not plan to ski. He's like, it's a resort. You'll be able to read your books and relax and chillax, get some hot cocoa, all those things, which sound amazing to me. And that is because I have been skiing before. Yeah, I know. You're like, oh, have you? Mm-hmm. About, how many years ago now? 13, 12? I don't know. My husband and I will be married 12 years this year. It was before we were married, but I think we were dating. I think it was right before I honestly have no idea. It was before we were married, maybe before we were dating. Actually, it was before. It was either right in the middle of dating, or right before dating. Can't remember. I don't know exactly when. But so my husband and I, with two other friends of ours, another couple, were like, let's go skiing. And I was like, you guys, if you look at my skin tone, I am a person of dark skin. Skiing is just winter sports, And so but I was like, you know what? Fine. I talked to my mom. Mom was like, oh, I was skiing when I was younger. Loved it. Go do it. So I said, okay. So I got my ski stuff. I got my little ski gear. I had my ski skirt to go over the ski pants, and I had my ski jacket. I was ready. So I get all this stuff. We drive up to the ski place, and I can't remember exactly. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it actually snowed. It wasn't snowing where we were, but it had actually snowed up there. So it was nice and cold and snowy, and they had, I guess, the fake snow and the real snow. They had all the snow that they needed. So as soon as we get there, every like 30 minutes or so, they have classes to teach you how to ski. We got there right when a class was beginning, and I was like, perfect, because my husband and my two friends knew how to ski. I, on the other hand, had never skied, and I said, I want to go to the class. And my friends were like, oh, no, we'll teach you. We'll teach you everything you need to know. You don't have to do that class. It's so easy. It's so easy. Like, all you got to do is just, when you want to slow down, just kind of point your feet together and you'll slow down. Oh, okay. So I tried a couple of the smaller slopes. I literally the practice little slope. I went down it and I managed to stay upright. I didn't know how to stop, but I coasted to a stop, and I didn't really know how to slow down, but I figured as long as I coasted to a stop, it was fine. Well, after a couple of those, just bunny, just wee, going down, keeping my balance and not falling, my friends were they were with me for that little time. They're like, okay, let's do something a little more challenging. And I was like, I don't know that I'm ready for that. Like, oh, no. Let's do this one hill in the middle, like that one right there. And I was like, that looks a little steep. And they're like, no, it's fine. Like, you can do that easily. It's just straight down. There's no trees. There's nothing you got to worry about. And I was like, okay. So we go on the little, the lift thing, the thing that takes you to the top. That should have gave me a clue right there. Like, why am I doing anything that has to carry me to the top of anything? I was not ready. I really wasn't ready. So we get up to the top, all four of us, and we get there. And it looks high. And my friend, so it was Wendy and Jason. Wendy was like, this is a little high. It is. But she was like, I'll go head down. So she goes down and falls halfway down. And I was like, oh no, because she knows how to ski. Like, she knows what she's doing and she fell. So I'm up there like already calculating, okay, so I'm obviously not going to ski down this at all. I'm going to walk down. I've seen people, they've taken off their skis and they just kind of stomp their way down. That's going to be me. Well, my husband, well, not at the time. So James is who I call him. That's his name. His name is James. And so before I called him Hubs, he was James. And before I called him, before Hubs, he was Babe. Like, Babe was literally just what I called him. And then, but before Babe and before Hubs, there was James. And so he was there with Jason, and they're like, let's go check on Wendy. Like, she fell down there. We're going to go down there. We're going to go check on her. And I was like, okay. So they left me. They ski down. They coast to where she is, which is about halfway down the hill. And they're there trying to help her get up. And I'm looking and I'm like, okay. And I inch closer and closer to the edge because I want to see what's going on. I want to see if they got to her and if everything was going okay. And as I get closer to the edge, I don't know at what point it changed. But at some point, I was no longer like parallel with the ground, but I was like, my skis were now pointing down. And without my permission, without any kind of will of my own, I started going down that hill. My skis just went forward and I just start to go. I was just scooting forward so I could see, but apparently I scooted so far that my skis went down, and next thing I know, I am flying down this hill and I am petrified. And so I do what they taught me. They said, anytime you need to slow down, just put your feet, like, kind of angle them together like a V. I tried that. I tried it and immediately my legs wobbled and like, just like did like a, and I almost fell. And so I said, no, because I'm not going to break my legs on this. So I straightened my legs. And because I was petrified out of my mind, I anchored down like in a squat position with straight legs with my arms at my sides. And which, just, if you know anything about skiing, you get yourself in a tighter ball in a straight line, you're just going to go faster. And that's what I did. And I went, and I tried to get my husband on the podcast to share his perspective because what he told me was so funny. But he was like, nah. But one day I will get him on here somehow. But he said that all he knew was that him and Jason went down to help Wendy. And while they were down there, they look up and they realize I'm gone. And he said, we looked at each other like, where's Phoebe? And he's like, 2 seconds later, we hear, and like and he said, you flew past us so fast. Like he said, it was like, we just heard a zoom and you were gone. And he's like flying him down that hill. So that was his perspective. So from my perspective, there I go. I'm flying down the hill. I cannot control it. I mean, thank God people are moving out of my way. I am flying down the hill. At this point, I realize I don't know how I'm going to stop. And the wind is whipping in my face. And then panic starts to hit because in front of me is this conveyor belt thing that I'm about to crash into because I do not know how to stop. And then the next thing I know, my skis, they like together, my legs turn to the side and I coast to the side and I come up right beside the conveyor belt, like parallel to the conveyor belt. Luckily, I was about to intersect it, going straight right into it, intersecting lines. And I went, or perpendicular lines, that one. And I went parallel to it and I turned and stopped. And I promise you it was by the grace of God. I promise you it was my guardian angels. I know because I did not know how to stop and I was about to crash and break every little bone in my body. But I stopped right in front of it. And like I said, by the grace of God, and I sat there and I stood there shaking and tears just flowing from my eyes. And because I was like, I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm about to die or break every bone in my body. I don't know what's gonna happen. And so my husband and my friends, they come down, they ski down right next to me, and they're like, whoa, like, wow, people were moving out of your way, right? And you just came down and you came to a stop and you were flying so fast. And they're like, oh my gosh, the wind must be in your eyes. And just why you're crying. I was like, yeah, it's the wind. No, it's not the wind. I'm crying because I almost died, But I was like, yeah, it's the wind in my eyes. And they came down. And then that's not it though. So then a worker came over yelling at me and it's like, that was so dangerous. Like people could have been hurt because people were having to get out of my way. It was like, generally the rule is if you're behind the person skiing behind someone, you move out of their way because they cannot see you. Their back is turned to you, right? And so they did kick me off the slopes and banned me and said I couldn't ski anymore. But that was okay because I wasn't planning on ever skiing ever again. And because I almost lost my life, and if not lost my life, almost broke every bone in my body. And if not that, maybe could have hurt other people, and saw my life flash before my eyes. And my poor little guardian angels who were at the top of the hill were probably just standing there chatting before they realized that, oh, she went down the hill. Let's catch her. And yeah, so that experience, I don't need to do that ever again. I don't know if I shared that story in the podcast. If I have, I'm sorry, but I'm sharing it now to let you know that even though Hubs and I are going on a ski trip, it's his ski trip. I will be relaxing in the resort. Hopefully they have a massage place there. I'll get a massage. Like I said, drinking some hot cocoa, maybe a chai latte, but I will not be skiing. Okay? Yes. And so we're going to... We're going to end the episode on that. That I will not be skiing in 2025. But no. So yeah. So again, like I said, I am going to end there. Happy New Year again. I know that today everybody's probably back in the grind. We had, if you had last week off, that's awesome. But I think most of us went back to work yesterday. I know I had to go back to work yesterday. So we are, day 2 in the grind, something about Tuesdays. Let's go. So I hope that your day is going really well. At least you're, getting back into it, getting back into the flow, that whatever resolutions you set a week ago, you're still going strong. Or maybe you'll start them today, or maybe you started them yesterday. Because I know for me, I have been not doing my diet or any of that stuff during this season, during this time. And I don't plan to do it, of course, on our trip. But when I get back, that's when I want to hit it. So hopefully Monday went good. If not, hey, something about Tuesdays. Either I picked it up again today or I'll let it slide for next week. But I hope that whatever it is that you're doing is going well, that your resolutions are still resonating with you. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for listening to the recap. Thank you for all of 2024 and for sticking with me. I do think 2025 is going to be a fantastic year. It'll be great. Last year was a great year. This year is going to be a great year. And I look forward to seeing, how this podcast will develop, if it does, or just keep the same. Sometimes if it ain't broken, don't fix it. But we will see. Like I said, find on Instagram, go to Something About Tuesdays and check out my hopefully 2024 recaps. And please send a link or post your own recap. Or if you don't feel like doing every month, give me just one pick recap. That would be awesome. And yeah. Oh, and always don't forget to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I'll take those too. And any type of comment that you would like to leave or to give. So again, thank you all so much for listening, and I'll catch y'all in a couple weeks.